Welcome to another episode of Talking with WIT Kevin and Son. Today, we are bringing you a very, very special guest, an angel that just happened to drop from the sky as I was going through Valley Forge National Park. A singer, songwriter, just downright good person, and a local celebrity in our little town called Phoenixville. Her voice is fresh. It's real. Her music will pull at your heartstrings. She sounds a lot like Nora Jones, if I can say. She's a singer, songwriter. She's a star on the rise. She's probably the best kept secret on the East Coast, but her secret's going to be out. Paired with her guitar today, she's going to be playing a couple things. Nicole will provide her listeners to everything they needed to ever hear when they're lost or they're lost in their own mind. Allow them to escape through her music and her songs and through the words. This episode is brought to you by RMK Productions and the 10 United Podcast Network. Through the power of story, our mission is to uplift, share experiences through story and perspectives using the framework of teaching, learning, and modeling. Our purpose is hope, helping other people every single day. The reason why we created this platform is to give a platform to someone like Nicole Campbell, which she likes to be called, her musical performance, Cole Campbell, a platform to where the world can see her. So I'm asking my listeners to stay tight, sit back, relax, and enjoy the Nicole Campbell story and her music. Nicole, welcome to Talking with Kevin and Son. And by the way, I forgot to introduce my co-host, Ife. He is an entertainment entrepreneur. And so I'm kind of going off script today just because I am so freaking excited to have Nicole here. I don't care about being right or slurring my words or whatever the case may be. We got music playing today. How you doing, Nicole?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me on your podcast. It's an honor and a surprise, and I'm excited we're able to get it going.
Well, let me, for our listeners, let me tell you how Nicole and our paths crossed. It was a Saturday evening, early evening, afternoon. I had stopped by a little convenience store, this gas station, and coming across from me was a young lady that came through. And you know how like you get that little bit of a feeling that there's an energy to someone that says, I got to get to know him or her, not like a date-like type of thing, but it's just an energy. This young lady had such a strong force. Obi-Wan Kenobi would have made her a Jedi. You know, that's how strong it was. And I had to meet her. And she was on her way to perform. And she's about 5 minutes after she left, we had exchanged information before. I listened to her music, and I sat in Valley Forge National Park, and I listened to this concert. And I said, I've got to have this young lady on this podcast, and the world has to hear this young lady. So a chance meeting led to us sharing your story with the world. And now we're going to ask you your story. Again, thank you. Nicole, can you tell our listeners a little bit about you before you wrote your first song, how this all came about, and your relationship to music and your dream?
Yeah, I guess my relationship to music started kind of in high school. Well, my family were very musical. My dad played in a band for a long time while we were young, and my mom always had music on in the house. And I feel like, maybe ninth grade, there was always a guitar sitting around, didn't really have new strings. Nobody was really playing it at the time. And I just remember asking my dad a couple like chords, and he taught me, from there. I think the first thing we really learned was a Led Zeppelin jam, which was kind of fun. My mom was always listening to anyone from Joni Mitchell and Tracy Chapman. So some really nice female vocalist influences there. And then my group of friends, you get influences from so many places. I had my family's influence, and then me, I love Cranberries. They were my favorite band. Dolores's voice is just angelic. And then my friends and I were just always listening to rap and literally Notorious B.I.G. and just hip hop in general. So I feel like those influences have kind of come from different angles. Like I love a heavy beat. So that's probably like the hip hop part. And then the vocals, all the kind of different styles of female vocals I've heard. And then, yeah, just a little like classic rock jamming. Is kind of, I don't know, created or influenced the way I like to make music. So that's kind of where I got my start and my connection. Music's like ingrained, I feel.
I know when I was high school, I played violin, and I apologize to my parents for what they had to suffer through. It's not the same as playing a guitar, that's on my bucket list to learn how to do. Before you actually start performing and you started to put it all together, what's the first song you played? And if you want to pick up your guitar and kind of talk us through this and play it through it, I'm okay with that.
Okay, I like to have my guitar.
All right.
It's funny, this guitar, I won this guitar at a Phoenixville Blues Fest, which is right across from where we live. And I just remember I was in here cleaning up the party, and then some people come running in. They're like, "You won the Martin." And I was literally looking for a guitar at that time. I hadn't bought one. I just had a Yamaha, which was my first guitar. And so that's kind of funny how I still have this. Is still my main guitar that I use. It's been through some stuff and needs a little TLC, but I try to keep it up to snuff. The first song I probably wrote was back in college. It's funny, after I talked to you and I was like looking through literally old notebooks, I had come across a song that I hadn't played in so long. That was probably one of the first songs I wrote. It was called Tonight. It was about just a night in college with friends. And then the first song that I kind of wrote around the same time and I ended up putting on the CD was called Appreciate. And it's about just another moment. Remember it like it was yesterday, just like trying to remember to like appreciate the smaller things in life. So that made it on its way to my EP, which I released in 2013. It was called Moments. So that was kind of so that was probably 2006 or 7 when I first started kind of writing my own songs. Around the same time I had my son, Jackson. And yeah, I mean, I wrote songs for a little while, and then I've kind of had a long lull in songwriting where they're all kind of just not finished in a notebook. So I started just writing some, I feel like life experiences kind of, sometimes the words just fall out of you. So those songs back then, they all came out at once. They still do come out that way sometimes, which is kind of good if it's on a good, if it's a good time. Kind of stinks if it's like 1 a.m. and you're like, oh my God, I gotta at least just get this idea on a voice memo real quick, or it's gonna be gone. So
what are we gonna play now? Because
I was gonna start off with the song from like the title track of the EP. It's called Moments Passing By. So this is one is called Moments. And it's kind of funny because even, meeting you was just a moment in time. And I feel like this song is kind of highlights how you don't really know when these moments are. And sometimes that makes you a little, I don't know, uncertain or nervous, but they come and I don't know, sometimes you notice them and then sometimes you don't. So it's kind of like a questioning song. Like, will you know that moment is a good moment, or is it just a fleeting thing that doesn't have they all have effects on your path, but kind of like that. So I'm going to start with this one called Moments. Sitting waiting sitting waiting for what I want to know, for what I can play this game all day and all night. Won't knock me out, I'm not gonna lose this fight, 'cause I'm strong and I know what I'm dreaming. Chasing a dreamer's dream. And I wonder, will I skip the pages in between like I always do? Or when will I know? Will I know? Will I know? What will I see? What will I see? When that moment sneaks up on me, will I squint my eyes as I try to get a clearer view? Will I look left as it walks right on by into the night, and I'm dreaming? Could it be bright as the morning sun, or will it be dark? Will I see it when it's done? No. Do I get that? Ooh, do I get that? That chance at the moment. That chance at the moment. It's kind of funny. It's like a mystery of life, right? You just want to know where you're going, where's the next turn, but sometimes you don't. Sometimes you ponder, and I don't know. It could be dark, it could be bright as the morning sun. Will I notice? Will I see it when it's done? No. Can I get that? Ooh, can I get that? That chance at the moment. Chance at a moment. Oh, thank you.
Wow.
Yes, that was the title track from that CD I made back in 2013. Had it mixed and mastered, met some great musicians at that experience. It was really cool. Yeah, it was just a 6-song. A couple didn't make it on there, but I'm hoping that be able to make another EP or release some new songs soon. So that's the first one.
I can listen to this all day long.
Mhm.
I've always said that when life is good, I hear the music, and when life is pressing me, I hear the lyrics. And evidently life is good right now because I heard the music.
Yeah.
Ife, tell me, I see you're smiling.
Yeah, I mean, I just love um I just love singer-songwriter that can play a guitar, and it's almost like having a conversation with the crowd. Like
Yeah.
the guitar is the backdrop. It's just the most authentic and sincere lyrics that you'll hear. So I was tuned in from start to finish.
Oh, thank you. I love that aspect actually of singer-songwriter type stuff too. I don't know, you get to really be not a part of the process, but like a part of the story. I've had a couple of experiences like that where I've got to, you know, been um, blessed enough to be able to play some of my original songs at shows, usually as an opener, a couple different places, mostly in Phoenixville and like Philly area. I remember when Grape Street Pub was like did a lot of original music. But yeah, it's cool to be able to showcase your stuff. It's interesting. I was trying to think of earlier how to describe it. It's like you're able to share these some very emotional, songs. And I always didn't like the process of or the thought that the songs were final, were recorded, because even when I play them live, I'm like, I'll just change the key, or I'm like, oh, let's try it this way this time, just to keep it fresh, or almost to keep myself guessing. And you don't always get to do that when you play cover. Like I play cover songs on the weekends, kind of at restaurants and stuff, which is nice. And then every once in a while, people are like, we want to hear an original. And I'm like, okay. So that's always fun to be able to showcase your work. But it's like a therapy session, but like a practice therapy session, because you know what emotions those songs are tied to. And I don't know, I've always appreciated any time I was able to share that.
Speaking of emotions, your mom, and you got children.
Yeah.
Being a parent, has that influenced your music, and has it attached lyrics to the guitar?
It has. I have one song that's about my son Jackson. It's called Jackson's Song. That's it. It has influenced my music, I feel like, in writing, but then also having three, I feel like it's influenced the lull periods as well, of not having the time to kind of sit and write. Like my creative time is at night, and so trying to go sneak into the basement that has like no heat, and I'll be like trying down there trying to play a little bit, and then someone's like, Mom, will you be quiet? I'm like, how can you hear me up there?
Mm-hmm.
So like those kind of things, or they've influenced just like your appreciation for life. And a couple of these, or just seeing my youngest, her name's Lennon, she's 7. She'll go and play the piano sometimes, and she has that like music in her kind of thing. And it's so cool. I'll just like put my phone on record and I'll like sit it near her, because if she knows I'm recording it, she gets all bent out of shape.
Mm-hmm.
But she has written these like little songs, and she'll just be like singing and trying to do like words and playing. So I've definitely seen that influence in her. And then the other two, they aren't really, not yet anyway, I don't know, you haven't found, they're still trying out different things. But I can see it. Lennon, the young one, she's like a little like sing and dance and do all that, which I never, as a kid, I just played sports nonstop. It's just what didn't really have, this part of me didn't come out until like later in life, I feel like. So yeah, they've definitely influenced my songs and my lyrics and all that.
What's the one song that you play that makes you happy? Is your go-to song?
What's my go-to song that makes me happy?
Yep.
It'd probably be some of my newer ones that I like right now. If I had to pick one from before, it would probably be Appreciate, which is from that EP as well. Jackson's Song is nice. It's changed so many times. Like I was saying, I change that song every time I play it. I mean, I could dabble a little verse of that.
You know something.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is your show. You play.
This is off. This is not one I sent you, but
It's fine.
It's funny. I feel like I always forget my lyrics. I'm such a, but nobody knows that but me, because they're mine,
Yeah. Well, Ife and I don't know the words to the song, so
exactly. So it doesn't
you
matter.
can play anything and sound good to us.
This is called Jackson's Song, because something that you could not describe. It would be this. Something about you, baby. My eyes, they can't believe. Something about this kind of love makes me feel a little strange. Have you ever laughed in anger, or you shed the happiest tear? Baby, and you got me, so I am so lifted by you, my baby. You got me, oh, you got me, so I'm so. It's almost like the word speechless should be there. Oh, when you're curious and it's racking your brain, everything is all, it's all so new. And as we watch the speeding cars, those birds, they fly high for you. Your eyes make the way across the sky, and there is an airplane, you say. Oh, there I go again, I'm stuck, and I am staring right at you. Baby, and you got me, oh, you got me, so I am so lifted by you, my baby. You got me, oh, and I am so. Ooh, baby, and you got me, oh, you got me, so I am so lifted by you, baby. You got me, oh, you got me so. It's that one. I feel like that one started as like, it was called 1,000 Smiles or something, or 10,000 Smiles. I don't know. It's like, it had so many different, even like the chorus progression of chords was different, but again, songs are always evolving, you know, so I like it that way.
Well,
But yeah,
you have definitely set the mood. I read a book about another Philly talent. I don't even know I should even bring up this name, but I read the book, which I wasn't impressed with the book until I heard the audio. The book called Will is the Will Smith story. And one of the things that he was really excited about, and I'm going to ask you your feeling, because I know you have a CD, and I guess it's called, what's it called now? The music is EPs or something like that.
yeah, that's I was gonna look it up, what the other called EPs. I was gonna say album, and I was like, don't age
Yeah.
yourself.
That's okay. But I want you to take us back to the time and tell us how you felt the first time, because right now we're doing the uncut version. This is, at home playing around. But when you get to the studio and there's all this technology and everything that's involved, the acoustics, sound is perfect, the mic is perfect, you're accompanied by other musicians. The first time you heard your music, either on Spotify or one of the other platforms or whatever, I want to know where you were at, how it felt, how did it make you feel. Just share that experience with us.
So hearing my songs was pretty humbling, I guess, because when you're in there, when you're, recording songs, it's a long process. We went a lot of different nights and, just getting them the way we wanted. And then you don't always have the other musicians with you because everybody's kind of recording their own part. But I do remember we recorded it in this old church. So I remember the one time when we were all in there with our headphones and all. And my dad, he did the bass on the CD, so that was kind of cool. Just he was doing something, I don't know, it was just so scripted, and I was like, Dad, you just have to like relax and like feel it. And I think that was during the song Moments when he really just like wrote his own kind of bass line. So that was really, really cool. But hearing them on, you know, Spotify, I think for one of the songs, Fascinated, I had a violin on there, and the violin for me, I played it as well, very briefly. God bless my middle school teacher and her ears and all the parents that came to the recital. But the violin was on one of my songs, and I mean, I cry pretty easily, but it definitely was like hearing the violin and like the song together with all the parts it was just a really beautiful thing. And I think the exact place that I heard it, I don't know, because I had to listen to it so many times. When you're like in the process, I'm listening to it, you know, 80% done, 90% done, what do we still need? But even now I have some friends, like old friends from school, that'll like screenshot their radio and they'd be like, just jamming to one of your songs. Because, you know, on Spotify and all that, I made CDs. CDs came when out of style, like that when I made them. So it was more on, you know, like the Spotify, Apple Music, all the streaming type services that offer you music. That was kind of it's just humbling, and it still brings up emotions, because a lot of those songs, you know, I wrote in a different time of my life, and my life's so different now. So yeah, I was listening to them today because I had sent you a link to that Cape May singer-songwriter fest where they picked that song Fascinated. So I was like, that was the one I had the violin on. So I was just listening to it earlier just to revisit that spot where she did that part. It's really pretty.
Can you play Fascinate for us since you brought it up?
Since I brought it up?
Yep.
I can.
Yay.
I think so.
We're like kids in a candy store right now.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you go to rmkproductions.org, you can make donations to Cole, since you're getting a free concert right now.
Wait a minute. So wait, I just gotta get this part. Okay. Do I know that part? Oh, we're gonna learn it together.
All right.
No problem.
Ladies and gentlemen, this
Take your
is a
time.
first on RMK
This
Productions.
is from the vaults.
Yep. An original recreation of Fascination.
It's original recreation. I'm like, did I ever write it down? I did. I wrote out my old book. I'm like, did you write this song down ever? Because it would be like you to not write your songs down, Nicole. But that's okay. See if I sometimes when I would write songs and lyrics, I always would forget to write what I was actually like playing on the guitar, and that has kind of made some songs really lost, which was kind of sad. I'm like, what was I even playing when I wrote these lyrics? Jeez Louise.
Well, while you're looking for that, I'm gonna.
Because I'm looking to see if I wrote I literally have this composition notebook over here because I didn't write the chords down, so it doesn't matter.
Well, you're probably going to pull up another song, but I do have a question for you, because I struggle with this myself. You know, being an author, I just came back from my homecoming, and I got a chance to speak, and someone asked me. They introduced me as a famous alumni. Now, I know when I was telling everyone about you and foreshadowing your future and everything else, I mentioned the word famous with your name. So I already attached a dream to your name. what it, how did you feel and what happened the first time someone recognized you as the talent that you are and attached the word famous or I met a celebrity to Cole Campbell?
I don't know. I never pictured that for me. Not that I don't, wish, like, not that it can't happen now, but I do remember my first original show after releasing, doing a little album release party was at Steel City in Phoenixville. And I had opened for Jeffrey Gaines, who covers In Your Eyes. He does like a really popular cover of that song. So
I've seen him.
yeah, so I remember being, downstairs in like the green room or whatever area, and he was just like, after I got done, and he was like, "That was really awesome." He's like, "Do you have any, would you want to come like on tour with me?" Which is just like little places like that. And Jackson was probably, my kids were still really young at the time, and I really felt like at that moment, not that it can't happen again. It was like I wanted to be like, yeah, I can. But it was like no, because I was like a new mom and there were so many things, almost like roots are so good to have, but they were at that moment, those roots felt like chains a little because I really wanted to do it, but I didn't, because I value my family. I mean, everybody values their family. And I always just thought that was kind of, that's what had to be on the pedestal or whatever, so to speak. And there's more things that can be there, but at that moment in my life, I felt like it just passing me by. So that was kind of, my moment of fame, I guess, where I was like, wow, somebody just asked me to go on tour with them. That would have been really, really cool. And then every once in a while in the beginning, when I was giving out the CDs or selling them, people would ask me to sign them, which I thought was really cool. I was like, hey, and I signed my name as Cole Campbell, which isn't even my real name. So that was kind of interesting too. And people recognize like, oh, Cole, oh my God, your voice is so awesome. When anytime anybody says, hey, Cole, I know that they met me at something musical, because, I go by that when I'm like on the microphone, I say, if I introduce myself, I say Cole Campbell. So I can tell if people know me by music or, I don't know, before. So.
Well, I am going to do you a favor while you think about the next song you're going to play, and hopefully you're going to kill this one.
Oh, she will.
She will. I know. I went to see Coldplay the last time they were here in Philly, and one of the things that I love about Chris and his group is that every city that they go to and they perform, they always find a local talent as an opening act. I've been putting some feelers out into the world, and we're supposed to have a special guest that was supposed to show up today, but he got stuck in a meeting. Life is about to change for you, young lady. We are at 100, and this is 160 interviews we've done with Talking with Kevin and Son, and almost over 200 that we've done through the podcast through our company. And I have someone in the record industry that wants to talk to you. Mr. Aaron Eubanks of Contra Records was supposed to be here today. I'm not going to reveal exactly the content of his conversation because I want to bring you back and have him listen to you play and have him say what he wants to say to you with us present. So good things are about to happen to you. The next time the train comes in to through Phoenixville, it will be taking Cole Campbell for a ride. Your opportunity to do something special did not end with Mr. Jeffrey Gaynor. It did not end. And I'm telling you, we've had 4 people that we've had their ASK come true. We always talk about the people that follow RMK Production or any of our podcasts are not the type of people that drive by an accident. They stop to help. And if anyone is listening to this podcast, I ask you to share it with someone that can help make her dream come true. Be it take one of her songs and put it to your movie. Take one of your songs and use it for a commercial. We've got a lot of film producers and casting agents putting things together. Nicole Campbell is ready to put her music to work. She's got 3 kids she needs to put through college, and she has a dream that has a star attached to it. So with that said, before we end, and I ask you your ask, why don't you play us out a little something?
Okay. I was gonna play. I had two choices. I was gonna play. I'll play this one because this one isn't on a CD yet. But I wrote this song a long time ago when something I feel like that's kind of in the shadows that not haunts or does anything, but I think it's connected to a lot of people more than is out there or aware in the open, is, struggling with addiction and, sometimes comorbid with depression. And I wrote this song a long time ago. One of my family members was struggling with that. And I feel like it's not just that, just creating awareness and trying to let them know somehow, because sometimes when you're in those shadows and those depths, you don't really know, they're there, people to help, but you don't almost have like the wherewithal to, pick up the phone or reach out. So that's kind of a hard part there. But this song is called So Far, and I was trying to think of the title as like why I would write it like that. And I feel like so far is just how far we've all come. It doesn't matter, not that it doesn't matter, but you overcome difficulties, you overcome good times, you might relish in those moments of, happiness, and you may have wished that you didn't have to go through some of the things, but they all like contribute to where you are so far, because every single person is really only so far in their journey of life. So this is called So Far. So as the rain is clamoring on the roof. So far, you have been through this night, nothing really meaning much, and I know your hope floats on top of a bubble of disappointment. Can you leave it all behind? Don't ever regret too much, 'cause I see you moving on and on. And the what ifs keep stirring me as I lay in my constant darkness, and I keep wandering late at night, and it's way beyond my sleeping time. And I know you prosper on, you're like a root stretching through the ground, yeah. And you will grow again. You will see this through. You're working hard, picking up your pieces. And I can be your friend. You just come to me when you think you need me. And we will make this work. And I will be so lovingly surrounding you. surrounding you. Ooh. And I've seen some lives at their best, smiles shining brightly, and inside troubles run deep, oh so deep they're bursting at the seams. And I have seen your happy soul never really needing much, except maybe a warm embrace to bring you back. Don't fall, don't fall. Oh, it might be tricky, might be steep, lies behind faces you want to meet, and them sticks and stones will be under your feet, but you don't fall. Oh, but if you do, I can, and I will see it through. I see you working hard, you're picking up those pieces, and you can, and you will make this work. I will be so lovingly surrounding you, oh, and I am your friend, and I will be here for you, so lovingly surrounding you, surrounding you, surrounding you. I am surrounding you, oh. So far. That's that one.
Yay!
Yeah, that's a I like that one. That one actually is always hard to play when I'm like try to play it live. It's usually needs a little more instrumental so I can keep it together.
That was all right, and the story behind it, touched because mental illness.
Yeah.
It's real. Holidays are coming up, so there's a lot of people are going to go through a moment
Mhm.
with the holidays, and hopefully that, you know, if you're one of those people that are sitting on the edge, um, this song will keep you from walking into the light and finding hope, and finding the answers. Connect to someone that can help you. Don't take the shortcut. Life is a long road. It's a journey. You know, I don't know how many times I can thank you 1,000 times over for joining us and sharing and playing with us and letting us be a part of your story. That this story is only the beginning. I know until we get in touch, when I connect you and Aaron together, people are listening. They're saying, "Well, how do I get in touch with Cole Campbell? Where do I hear your music?" Um, and I think Ife, before I go on, Ife has one
Yes.
question to ask. I forgot.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
he's got one.
So I can hear a couple of influences in your songwriting and your guitar playing. If you had a choice of three artists that you could open up for, who would they be?
I could open up for 3 different artists.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Who would they be? Let's see. I feel like Tracy Chapman was still playing music. That would be something in my heart that would be fulfilling. I really I like Dermot Kennedy. I really think he's a great, passionate artist. His songs are very, like, you can feel those emotions. That would be something super awesome. And then a third one, Oh, I'm trying to think on the spot if it would be a third artist that I would want to open for. I want to say the Cranberries, but she's not here. Or my
Yeah,
other
she has an
favorite,
amazing voice.
my
The
other
lead singer.
favorite, Amy Winehouse. She's not
Yes.
here either. Another one
Mhm.
gone too soon. I don't know. I feel like Counting Crows, they're another big band that I love. But I don't know. I try to like partnering myself with people that are more like me, not even like, a show is a whole bunch of different artists coming together, like a compilation. But yeah, I think those three would be cool. Dermot Kennedy would probably be my number one.
Well, if anyone is connected to any of her top three on her wish list, please connect Cole Campbell to those people. I put out Coldplay already because I think you would be an excellent open act for them. I think Taylor Swift is a conversation that you guys should sit down with, and she should listen to your music and do something together. I'm my mind is just going crazy.
I know you're going so big, but God dream big.
You know something? If you don't ask, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Today, Aoife and I interviewed probably one of the biggest motivational speakers out there today, Craig Valentine. He is hot right now. And, I've been trying to get him for 2 years. I've been asking him. I always say you're only as strong as your last no. He said yes. He didn't say no. Ife got a chance to have his way with him today and had a great time. Never seen Ife talk so much. So
cool.
with that said, 99.9% of the guests we have on here, I have always asked this one question. If you had one dream and one wish that it could come true, I always say, what would your ask be? A-S-K. And I always say ask big and be very specific. Don't be general. All right. What would that ask be?
I'm not trying to be too general, but I think being given the opportunity to be on a big stage and share my wide array of songs, because I think they touch a lot of different people and a lot of things that people are going through, whether it's just your day-to-day trying or not. So I think being given a stage with a lot of people listening to be able to perform these songs would be a cool dream that, we already talked about it, that kind of went like this in like a weird days a long time ago. So if that were ever to be able to, an opportunity like that, were able to come back around and let me come with it, I would definitely go. Snow boots, bathing suit, whatever I needed to bring, I'd be on that trip.
All right. So we had covered a lot of information here, and we have shared a story that needs to be told. If you're one of those people that have a higher call to action, if you're one of those people that someone has granted you your dream, it is time for you to give back. Please grant Cole Campbell, Miss Nicole Campbell of Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, her dream. Allow her star to rise. Allow those three kids to see mommy center stage doing her thing. Allow her to one day be able to share her stage with her children, playing the instrument, creating a legacy of love and healing people's souls.
Yeah.
You've touched us. You've touched us. And I hope to our listeners, you've been touched. I want to thank you 1,000 times over. And my hashtag is find 1,000 reasons to be kind to someone. If you like what you've heard today, I suggest you go to RMK Production and Network on our YouTube page. And if you want to get in touch with Cole Campbell to book her for your opening act or play for some function or whatever, she's expensive, but she's worth it. Nicole, how do they get in touch with you?
Yes. Cole.
Usually they can reach out, Messenger. Cole Campbell Music Gmail is my main contact. All my information is on Facebook at the Cole Campbell, and then Instagram at the Cole Campbell Music. Pretty pretty responsive on there for any inquiries or just love or questions or anything like that. Booking, so
And
that's
I'm
where you
going
can find me.
and I'm going to say to the people that reach out to her, do not waste her time. She's a mother. She's performing every single weekend. Do not call. This is not dating.com. This is dream.com. Dreams are made here. So do not waste her time. If you can help in any way, please do it. If you're real in any way, reach out. If you're not real, just enjoy the podcast interview and share. Go to our homepage at www.rmkproductions.org. If you want to reach out, if you can't get in touch with Cole, you can reach us at info@rmkproductions.org. That's info@rmkproductions.org. My grandfather always said, when you get to a place that you can help someone else, it is your duty to do so. Reach one, teach one. And Nicole, before I sign off and we fade to black, is there anything you want to say to our listening audience? You can play while you say this. You can play while you say it. You can play us out.
I'll play out. Okay, well,
Yeah.
I just wanted to say thank you to you and Ife another 1,000 times over for having me on your amazing podcast today and just giving me an opportunity to play some songs for you guys in our random, universe type meeting, because that's what it felt like when I walked out of there. I was like, whoa, that was weird. And to the listeners, I hope you guys get a chance to listen and tune into the podcast, Talking with WIT, Kevin and Son, and maybe get a chance to come to Phoenixville and hear a show. That would be cool too. I'll play out. Play out. Why not? Want me to tell you about this one as I play it out? This is called My March, because sometimes we all have to take a march. It's when you're going somewhere with purpose, even though you might not know exactly where you're going, which is okay. Sometimes you just gotta keep going. Put a foot in front of the other. Isn't that what they say every day? It's hard to keep moving forward when you're pulling me back every day. Not this time. Oh no, not this time. When the mountainside looks so steep and the cut, it feels too deep. You got no choice, you can't go under. Take a step, go further. Every time, oh, every time. No, 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 never again. I chose to start again. We keep moving to survive. Oh, you got to choose this every time. Oh, no, never again. Oh, no, never again.
And ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to the soulful sounds of Nicole Campbell. And this is another edition of Talking with Kevin and Son, and we'll fade to black. Thank you, Miss Campbell.
Thank you so much.
And this is